Okay, so I have a project here with just one graphic in the project tab. All right, so compositions are the central part of After Effects in that compositions are like sequences in Final Cut Pro in that they are where the action happens. That's where you bring your content and put it on a timeline, make things happen, and then output the final result to a piece of video. You can do it in a number of ways. You can create a blank or an empty composition by clicking Create New Composition, and you can give it a name. You can specify the video format. You can also give it a duration. The default is 30 seconds, so I might bring this down to 15 seconds if I know that that's the amount of time that I want. The background color can also be set, but you can leave that to black most of the time. And I'll click OK. Now my composition opens here down in the timeline area. So my composition is visible here as an icon. It's also visible down here where I'm looking inside the composition. Now what you'll also notice is that you have tabs down here for each composition that you have open. So that's one way that you can create a composition. Another way that you can create a composition is to bring in a piece of media or footage and use that footage as the base settings for your composition. So if, for example, I wanted to create a composition that had to be the exact dimensions of this JPEG, then I can use this JPEG to form the basis of the settings for my composition. And you do that by clicking and dragging the footage that you want to use down onto the composition icon. And when you let go, it will have created a composition with the same name as the footage that you used. It will open it up and you'll see that the composition settings are the exact same size as the image. Similarly with video, so I'll just import a piece of video here. Okay, so now I have a QuickTime file here. So this is another way that I can use a video file to create a composition. That composition will now take the size, will take the frame rate, but it will also take the duration of the video clip as well. So this is a very handy way of working. If you have a piece of video that you are going to be putting a graphic over, then you would bring the video in and use the video as the basis for your composition. So the two ways to do it are to click the button to create a new composition that's empty, or to use a piece of media as the basis for the settings of a new composition. The compositions are visible here. You can see the composition icon, little film strip. So these can be accessed here, so I can double click on test, for example, and it'll open up that composition. Double click on TV Studio Bitmap, it will open up that composition. You can also see them down here as tabs that you can cycle between as you're going through your project.